Increasing attacks on Yoruba monarchs shows we need fortification. Ekiti king shot by bandits reveals all. Hello, my wonderful people. We remember the Ekiti king who was, he was on his way back from a journey and was, intercepted by some criminals who Fulani bandits anyway, who were trying to, adopt him. That day they shot at him. He later went to the hospital and, got well. Before I could take Jack Robinson back home, he was in his palace and at home with his family at about 8:30 p.m. Some guys came into the compound, a group of six of them. They came in and they were trying to, adopt him. They did adopt him and they asked for money and all that. And now the monarch is speaking. My dear, you need to hear, you'll be shocked to your bone. Some things that are happening and how these things, have gotten to this extent with nobody paying attention on what is currently, going on. It's a pity. Oh. It was not like this before. Things were not like this. Things have gone from bad to worse. Please don't forget to like us, share, subscribe. God bless you. God is always on our side. My chiefs were with me in the palace that day, April the 9th, 2021. I took someone to Ayotoro, a neighboring community in the Daroshu Council area. I dropped him off, and midway while returning to Iwe, I drove into the bandits, the full group of Fulani herdsmen. They they positioned themselves by the roadside, covering themselves with leaves. I did not even see them. I drove myself. On sighting my car, they started shooting. There were about 12 bullets recovered from my car while they shot at the car. One bullet came straight and hit me on the hand, hit my tummy and my right side, and came out from the other side, then hit my left hand. It was God that saved me. When that happened, I slumped inside the car. Then I saw blood. I had to summon courage. I tried to move the car out of the place, but the boys rushed down to me. I asked them what they wanted. They said I should give them money. I said, if it was money you want, look at my blood. Look at my blood. But all they kept saying was, give us money. I had 57,000 naira on me. And thank God I had that money. I can identify the young man who collected the 57,000 naira from me in a crowd because I see him quite well. This boy did not even wear a mask. There was even a vehicle approaching, but on seeing what was happening, the driver turned back and zoomed off. But then the way a vehicle overtook me before I came to the point where I was shot at still gives me worry. That is that it might be the driver who notified them that I was coming. This is what I think, but I cannot fully say if that it was because a vehicle hurriedly drove past me, and afterwards, that was when they started shooting at my car. As I gave them the money, they ran to my car and took my three phones. One of them, who stood by the passenger seat, said, I want to kill you. I replied, what will you kill an old man like me for? You said you wanted money and I've given you the money. He then said, okay, okay, you can go. Then I asked him to close the car door and he did. So I pulled back, gathered myself together, and drove to the palace with the blood dripping from my side. From the palace, a driver then drove me to a year Ekiti for the first time for the first aid care. From there, I was rushed to the Federal Teaching Hospital, Ado Ekiti, but they said the doctor were on strike. While at Ado Ekiti, we managed to stop the bleeding through African science and blood stopped gushing out. From there, I was rushed down to Babalola University Science Hospital in Ado Ekiti. That was how I was able to sustain myself. The call for our youth and everybody must not be taken lightly. We must all stand together and ensure that Yoruba land is protected. This is why Sunday Igboho and the rest of them, once this country divided, we must not forget that we have to protect ourselves. This is the monarch giving his ordeal of what happened. This is him. This is first-hand report of what really happened and how God saved him. You can see that God really loves this man. You see how he was saved. Despite all that happened, he was still able to drive himself. And guess what? Even after collecting the money from him, what the one that was standing by the passenger side said, "I want to kill you." And he looked at the man. He said, "Why now? An old man like me, why do you want to do that? Why? You asked for money, I've given you." Then the guy said, "Okay, okay, okay." That's how he would have been killed. He would just give him one more bullet and that is it. And they will make an. He said these were bandits. He said if he sees the young man in the crowd, he can identify him. They are not even afraid. And what I'm trying to say here, if you listen to the Oba stories very well, you could hear that the way the thing happened, it feels staged. That a car, first of all, drove past him. And when that car passed him, it felt like that car was the one that went to signal the rest that he's coming. It says, so when that car passed, before you could say Jack Robinson, that was when the whole shooting at him started. He did not see them. They covered themselves with leaves. He did not see them. He did not quite see them before the whole thing started. You see, when these things are happening in this country, and some people are saying, and that's why, did you hear his conclusion? He said it is high time we support our own. Let's support the youths that are crying for Oduduwa. You hear him say it is time we support them. It is time. He mentioned Sunday that it's time for us to now support Sunday and the rest because we need to protect ourselves. If you listen to that story very well to the end, if you listen to the end, if you listen to the story very well to the end, he said we have to support and protect ourselves. This, and you know that even after that ordeal, he was in his path. Oh no, Nigeria. There is no more respect, no more regard. They planned him, they kidnapped, but God saved him. What are we talking about? If something is not done drastically, I don't know where this country is headed. If something is not done to change the narrative of what is on ground, because the current administration does not want to do anything, in case you're not aware. They don't want to do anything about it. In fact, they are quite happy that these things are happening. To be very candid, they are quite happy. And that's why the Oba said we need to support these people. If this country does not, if the federal government cannot do anything about it, it's not a crime. Meaning that they've run out of ideas. That's fine. Okay, if somebody cannot do it, he cannot do it. Then let the country divide. Leave us a comment. God bless you. Have a fantastic day. Bye for now.